Okay, welcome to Government 2305. This is the federal government class. I wanted to go over the syllabus with you a little bit to be sure that we're all on the same page about this. Your syllabus might look a little bit different than this, mainly because I'm in the faculty view and you would, of course, be in the student view. However, the information is the same. And so we can just go over the various sections of the syllabus to be sure that I want to be sure that you've heard it and you've read it and you're prepared for what's going to come in the next 16 weeks or 12 weeks, whichever the case might be. So here we have the logo and the fact that this is an internet campus government course. That means that this is Federal Government 2305. It is fall 2020. Uh, for the time I am speaking right now, August of 2020. This particular one is section 010. Now, I have several syllabi that are specific to Government 2305, and they just represent different sections. So your particular section might say 010, or it could say I-44, or I-27, or I-90, or something like that. Be that as it may, they're just different sections of the same course. So the CRN number right here really is meaningless to anybody but the registrar's office that I've been able to figure out. So when you pass the course, you will get 3 credits. The course starts Monday, August the 24th, and the finals will wrap up, but the course that will completely be over on December the 9th. Now, meeting times. Obviously, this is, as I said, an internet class. So our meeting times will be asynchronous. That means that we won't all be online at the same time. So we can be online at the same time if you would like to have a Zoom meeting, or we could talk by phone. We can email. There's different ways that we can communicate. But as far as the course module itself, we generally will not be online at the same time. Next, we have my contact information. My name is Dr. Lauren Mayo. My office location is Potter Building, 204B, which is upstairs near the elevator. My email is lauren.mayo@tjc.edu, and this is my contact information, although I must say this is my TJC phone contact information. So the best thing for you to do if you want to get a hold of me is email me through the Canvas module. Email me through this module, and we will make arrangements to meet at some mutually convenient time, whether that's on the telephone, via Zoom, via email, something like that. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need to have a conversation. I'm very open to that. And I do understand that online learning is new for a lot of you, and you might come across some confusing information or layouts or something like that that you need help with. So the description of this course is the origin and development of the United States Constitution, the structures and powers of the government, including the 3 different branches of the government. We'll talk about federalism, political participation, the national election process. Of course, that's going to be very dense this fall. We talk about public policy, civil liberties, and civil rights. Now, I have a pretty strong focus on civil liberties and civil rights because I believe that those 2 topics are contextually very timely. One of them protects you from the government, and the other one is protection for you by the government. So one protects you from the government, and one is protection through the government. So the course outcomes, these are specific to this course. No matter who's teaching it, we all have the same learning outcomes. And that is that we are going to learn about the origin and development of the constitutional democracy. We're going to demonstrate knowledge of the federal system, describe separation of powers and checks and balances in both theory and practice, demonstrate knowledge of the three branches of government: legislative, executive, and judicial. We will evaluate the role of public opinion, interest groups, and political parties in the political system, analyze the election process, identify and describe the rights and responsibilities of citizens, analyze issues and policies of U.S. politics, and evaluate the role of citizens in promoting the adoption of public policy, using such methods as interest groups and political parties in the political system. Now, we have something called the Texas Core Curriculum, where students are expected to gain foundational knowledge of human cultures in the physical and natural world. Um, you will develop principles of personal and social responsibility for living in this diverse world, and gain advanced intellectual and practical skills essential for all learning. So those are further described below under general education competencies. Critical thinking is generating ideas by combining, changing, or reapplying existing information. Communication skills are the way we develop, interpret, and express ideas. Social responsibility is to exhibit intercultural competency by identifying civic responsibilities and ways to engage in regional, national, and global communities. And finally, personal responsibility, which is to evaluate choices and actions, as well as related consequences to decision making. The Secretary's Commission on Achieving Necessary Skills just identifies entry-level workforce. Look there is a typo. Entry-level workforce skills for details. You can click on this and it will take you to those competencies. Now, textbook. The textbook is American Democracy Now! You need to have the 6th edition. Understand that your textbook is, you gain access to your textbook through something called inclusive access. Inclusive access just means that you get your textbook and online support materials at the time that you pay your tuition. So when you pay your tuition, you also pay for access to this book. So understand that there is an access code with the textbook. So the textbook and online access are required in this course. You can't pass the course without them. This is just general technology requirements, additional supplies. Basically, it means that you need access to a computer with a good internet connection, because all communications and assignments will be online. You're going to need a Canvas compatible word processor. Basically, that means Microsoft Word for creating any writing assignments. And you'll need to log on. You'll need the logon information that comes with your textbook to gain access to Connect, which is McGraw-Hill, the publisher, student resource platform. And you have to have that information. Here is our schedule. So we have 4 units in this course, and for the most part, we go over 1 chapter a week. It does deviate a couple of times throughout the semester, but for the most part, you will read the chapter, you will work the chapter assessment, and you will take the chapter quiz. So for each chapter, you have 3 things: read the chapter, do the chapter assessment, and do the chapter quiz. Now, when you get to the end of the unit, for example, this is Unit 1, and it includes chapters 1, 6, 2, 3. So when you finish that, which would be around week 4, you will have an exam over these chapters for the unit. So this is a unit exam over the chapters that were covered in that unit. The other thing that's really important for you to be able to observe and understand is that there is an open and close date for every assignment, exam, quiz, everything. So I will make available to you, that would be the open date. In this example, it will be chapter 1 will be made available to you on the first day of class, August 24th. But on September 19th, it will close. And what that means is that whatever is in here that needs to be done, such as read the chapter, do the chapter assessment, and the chapter quiz, must be done by the close date. If you have not done everything in here by the close date, it still closes anyway, and a 0 will appear for your participation in the gradebook. So please be very much aware of these open dates. That's when you get access to the material, and the close dates. That's when you will not have access to the material and you will not be allowed to go back. So here's your open close dates for week 2, open close dates for week 3. So what you really see is that Unit 1 opens on August 24th and closes on September 19th. Now, this close date, I could expand it, not necessarily on Unit 1, but throughout the semester, I might expand or contract these dates, make them longer or shorter access, so that we might examine material in a specific way under a specific timing. So just be sure that you're familiar with this schedule. Now, one thing I can't express this enough, and that is, please check in to your course every day. Look for new announcements, look for assignments, look for emails, anything that might give you updated information on what you need to be doing and what you might be responsible for. So those are very important. They could change daily. This calendar is only meant to be a generalized expectation. So it is your responsibility to be sure that you know what is going on. And the best way to do that is to access the module and look around, see if there's any new announcements or emails or assignments or anything like that. If you have any questions, feel free to course mail me. Okay, evaluation of grades. As I said, we have 4 units. That means that we have 4 major tests. The average of these grades is 30% of your semester average. So we will have, the breakdown is a weighted average. So your major exams on the 4 units will be worth, the average of those will be worth 30%. Your final exam, which is over everything, is worth 20%. Your writing assignments or core assessment general education requirements / quizzes are worth 10%. And what that is you will be given an article to read, and then you will be asked certain questions about this article and how you evaluate it and understand the article and kind of spit back out the information will be worth 10% of your grade for the semester. We will have 2 discussions, and those are worth 10% together. The average of those are worth 10%. There is a separate rubric. You must meet the requirements of the rubric or you will not get full credit. Now, the most important thing in this breakdown, in my opinion, is this last one, the online required chapter assignments. It's worth 30%. And why do I think this is so important? I think this is really important because it gives you an opportunity to make some really good grades because your chapter assessments and chapter quizzes are specific to something every week. It is open book. It is part of your studying process. So very easily you can make 100% on every one of these chapter assignments. And 100% at 30% of the weighted average could really help put you, it could easily mean the difference between an A and a B and a C, and so forth. So be sure that you have a healthy respect for these weekly online required chapter assignments. Okay, additional notes. Deadlines are firm. No assignments or tests will be accepted late. There's no makeups for unexcused absences. If you have an illness or family emergency, you have to document it with a doctor's note or obituary or some other kind of legitimate documentation. There won't be any makeup exams given. If you are not going to be able to take an exam, which you have to document, then we can make an arrangements for you to take the test in advance, but we won't go from the back end and do makeup exams. So course policies, basically this talks about honesty. The main thing to remember about this section is that if you get caught plagiarizing or cheating on any assignment or test, you will immediately receive an F for the course, not just the assignment, but for the course. So be sure that all your work is original. Be sure that you've never submitted it in another course before, because self-plagiarism is a type of plagiarism for which you can also receive an F for the course. So this part of it is very important. Now, attendance. You might think, what difference does it make how or when or if I attend, because it's an online course? Well, it's very important because attendance is a integral component of success in college classes. There are ways that Campus has set up for me to be able to follow your participation. I can see when you access the course. I can see how long you stay in the course once you access it. I can see how long it took you to do the various exercises. I can go in because Canvas allows me to do that, and I can make an assessment about how you are attending the class and completing the assignments. Now, this says you're responsible for logging into the course at least twice a week. I suggest you do it daily. It says logging in daily is recommended. It's just really important in order to stay on top of everything, because with online learning, it's not like you can come in and ask me a question and get an immediate answer. So everything that you need is going to be here and it will be at your disposal. Department policies. Now, this goes over the honor lock proctoring service. The honor lock proctoring service is a way for you to take your exams and be monitored while you're taking those exams. So just be sure that you do the honor lock training, that you have the Chrome extension installed. And I strongly recommend that you take the honor lock practice exam. It's just 3 questions, but it lets you know that you're prepared to approach your test appropriately using the honor lock system. Now, institutional policies. Pretty much, this institutional policies alert you to be prepared for emergencies. Campus could close. Campus could close. We could change the format of the course. Various kinds of altered operations can take place, And this is just to let you know that it's a heads up. Be prepared, be flexible, understand that these things happen, just like they did this spring, where immediately we went from face to face to online. So these things happen, they're happening in our world, and we have to be prepared for them, and we have to be have some flexibility and understand that it's not just happening to one person, it's happening to all of us together, and we need to stay together in the way that we approach these things. So just be prepared for emergencies. That's another really good reason to check in on Canvas every day, because you never know when these things are going to happen. That's the nature of an emergency. So just understand that you need to be alert, and you will be held responsible for knowing what's going on. This is the academic integrity policy, which I've already really discussed. Any cheating or plagiarism will result in an F for the course. This just says that it's called a civility statement, and basically what it means is that we're going to be nice and respectful to each other. It goes two ways. There are certain student support services, such as tutoring, counseling, disability services. If you have a disability, you need to get in touch with the disability services department, and you and the department will work out what kind of accommodations you need, and the disabilities department will send me a letter of accommodation to tell me how it is I need to help you be successful in this course. So that's very important. They will send me this letter of accommodation, and I must follow it to the letter. TJC also offers free face-to-face as well as online tutoring to currently enrolled students. And there we talked about disability services. Also understand that I cannot backdate any kind of disability service. So if you need special accommodations, be sure that you get those to me as soon as possible, because I can't go backwards. I can only start on the date that I get that letter. So anyway, that is the syllabus for 2305. You can go back over it at your leisure, and just be sure you pay attention to the schedule. Be sure that you pay attention to announcements and emails, and please check in with the course every day.